Well done to Auchinleck Talbot for getting a draw against Arbroath, Airdrieonians, Bonnyrigg Rose, Dumbarton, BSC Glasgow, Edinburgh City, Alloa, East Kilbride, Broxburn Athletic, Brora Rangers for getting a draw against Morton, Partick Thistle, Queen's Park, Clyde, Stranraer, unfortunately, and Raithos and Falkirk. Again, unfortunately, but well done to you lot. Your team actually managed to win a Scottish Cup tie and get through to the next round. For us, at the first time asking, we were knocked out straight away. No questions asked. Cheers Dunfermline, cheers for a cracking weekend. And a good trip down to Stranraer was a wee bit ruined by your performance on Saturday. Fantastic. Can't wait for the next round. Can't wait for it. I'm going to be stuck going to some other team's game because we couldn't make it through after getting drawn against bottom of League 1. No offence, but come on. We should be beating them and we simply didn't. It's unbelievable. Well done to all the other teams that managed to get through, especially some of the shocks like your Bonnyrigg Roses. Your BSC Glasgow's. Well done, fantastic. Even draws like Auchinleck Talbot getting a draw against Arbroath and Brora Rangers drawn away to Morton. It's a fantastic result for teams like that, and the rest of them that got through, as I've said, well done. All you want your team to do is win in the rounds of the Scottish Cup that they're in, and those teams have done just that. Dunfermline, up your game, come on. We went through a wee run there, 4 games undefeated, and now we're on a wee period of losing twice in a row to 2 part-time teams. It's not a good look. As you will have seen, there was no episode of The Last Word on Sunday. I simply just wasn't in the mood. And there's a couple of real life things that are happening as it stands just now. I won't quite go full out and tell you exactly what they are, but there's things working in the pipeline and it's exciting stuff for myself and for Jenny as well. So hopefully I'll be able to update you on them before the end of the week, really, before the next episode of Predict the 6, let's say. So keep your eyes out for that on the channel because we're both very excited about what's to happen next, and it looks quite certain at this point, so we'll just keep it at that for now. Jenny's just told me to say it is not 100% not us having a baby, so there you go. There's your only clue. As far as any other stuff goes that I've not mentioned so far yet, of course, the Scotland fiasco, where we're now going into the playoff games in March, and we found out who we were drawn against in the playoff stages. Of course, we've got through to the playoff stages because of the Nations League. When Alex McLeish was in charge, he actually got us a wee bit of success and got us to the playoffs of the Nations League to get us into the Euros eventually, if we do get through the semi-final stage and the final stage. Of course, you'll already know, unless you were living under a rock, in the semi-final, we've been drawn against Israel at Hampden, which I am, fingers crossed, going to do my absolute utmost to get to. Me and my dad will probably go, and it's one fixture that I just really want to be at. Hampden will most likely be full for that occasion, considering it's the only one of the semi-final and final that's actually going to be played at Hampden, so I'm really looking forward to that one, and I really want to be at it. No questions asked, really. I want to be there. I want to experience a good night at Hampden. And the last result against Israel, James Forrest had a really good game that day, and we were comfortable winners. So we've got a good wee kind of picture going into this one, and I'm really confident that we could get through to the final, to the playoff final, to get into the Euros, hopefully. In terms of the final, away to Norway or Serbia, I don't think that's as good a prospect. The good thing about getting drawn against Israel is that out of the teams that we could have got in the semi-final, we drew the lowest ranked side. I think Israel are 89th ranked in the world, so we got a decent enough ranked side for us. Obviously we're not the best ranked side in the world, so to get Israel, who were probably, I think, the lowest ranked side out of the teams we could have gotten in the semi-final. That was a massive bonus. But in terms of Norway and Serbia, I do believe they're both ahead of us in the FIFA rankings or whatever it is. So I don't feel as confident about this one, and I think that's the general consensus so far, that Norway or Serbia, they're easily harder fixtures than playing a team like Israel. The fact that it's away as well doesn't help. The Hamden factor is always going to help us. An Israel correspondent recently was on some TV show or something like that, and he said that in Israel, the draw they weren't wanting was to go to Hampden to play Scotland. So that shows the kind of fear factor from a nation like Israel to come to Scotland. It's clearly not the fixture they wanted. It's clearly one of the ones that we were looking at, like your Norways and Serbias, that we just didn't really fancy, especially away from home. So Israel have been giving us away from home, and then in the final we didn't get the Hampden draw, and we got quite tough teams away from home to be able to play. So, as I said, confident about the semi-final and getting through to the final. But then, as far as the playoff final goes itself, I don't know. I just simply don't feel as confident as I said, as the Israel game. We need to pull out a big performance. It needs to be all about the mentality here, because there's no doubt that we do have players that have got good enough quality to be able to step up to that level when they play at their best. But if it's not in your mentality that you're going to go in and win this game and you're not the underdog and whatever, then I just don't see us coming out on top. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can, because it would be unreal to see Scotland at a European tournament, especially one where we are going to be one of the host nations as well. We're going to be playing a few games at Hampden, and if we're not there, it will look horrendous on us. Watching literally from home some of these games getting played and us not being one of the teams in the competition, that would be horrendous for us, in my opinion, and I simply don't want to see it happening. So fingers crossed Scotland can make it through the semi-final, which I'm thoroughly confident we can beat Israel. And then as far as the playoff final goes, get a good mentality and players play to the quality that they can and give ourselves a good chance. It's a one-legged tie. You've got nothing to lose except, obviously, a place in the Euros, but you know what I mean. There's nothing to lose. You need to go there and get us to one of our first tournaments in years. The first European tournament in the 21st century. That is horrendous to say in itself, but I've never lived in a time where I've seen Scotland at a European tournament. So here's hoping that we can finally get there. Of course, I spoke about them briefly at the start of the video here, and Dunfermline, obviously not in a great kind of vein of form at the moment. I don't want to harp the kind of Stevie Crawford out thing, but it really is getting tough at times to keep backing it when we're really inconsistent at times and getting really poor results that we shouldn't be getting. Like, I get at times losing to teams like your Arbroath and Alloa. You can have off days, but going to Stranraer and getting knocked out of the Scottish Cup when that is such an important revenue stream for clubs, that's not for me. That is just not for me, that one. And I really don't want to see that happen ever again. And it just puts even more pressure on a guy like Stevie Crawford now, because we've got Partick Thistle at home this coming weekend, and it's such an important game. If we don't win it, Partick go within 2 points of us in the league. If we do win it, we could then go within, depending on how results go elsewhere in the league, we could go within 1 point of the playoffs with a game in hand. So it's all to play for still. We could still be within real touching distance of a promotion playoff place come Saturday night, but we could also be well within touching distance of automatic relegation, and that is just doom and gloom. I don't want to see it. I just don't want my mindset thinking that my team is going to be anywhere near the bottom of the league. So come on, Dunfermline, buck up the ideas. That's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below any thoughts on anything that I've said. Dunfermline, the Scottish Cup, the Scotland draw, and how you feel about the semi-final playoff and the final playoff. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.